Hi, let me tell you a little secret. I am a perfectionist, which usually means I spend too much time, even in the most simple of drawings. Huh? Don't believe me? Wanna guess how much time I spent working on these drawings? Insane, right? So I thought, why don't I challenge myself with a 1 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, and 10 hours challenge? Sounds fun, doesn't it? And to make things even more fun, I'll be drawing Aira Shiratori. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let's start, shall we? Okie dokie, since 1 minute is not enough time, I decided to draw a little chibi Aira because chibis are easier. Blowing a kiss or something because, love boy! But didn't like how he turned out, so I ended up changing it later. Surprisingly, I took my time. At first, I didn't feel that much pressure, but little Ida ended up looking really bad anyway. Okay, 10 minutes is a lot more time, but still not enough time for me to make a good drawing. Somehow, at first, didn't feel that much pressure. I took my time, and things were going surprisingly smoothly. I was expecting to struggle a little more. I know this sketch is not going to look perfect, but considering the fact that I tend to spend too much time on my sketches, this is not too bad. I actually kind of like it. It looks a little derpy, but it has a charm to it. Except for his body. His body turned out awful. I don't know, his neck looks extremely weird and his trap muscles look... I don't want to talk about that. Looks horrible. But other than that, his face looks cute and his hair turned out okay. About the bunny ears, I forgot to mention that, but I gave him bunny ears because of the Unlucky Bunny Scout story. I thought it would be fun. And also as a little foreshadowing because I plan on drawing the outfit in a bit. So I had a little bit of time to make some lines thicker and even shading a bit his hair, but I noticed I was running out of time, so I started adding some blush and shading to his skin. And with that, Aira is done. Well, 10-minute Aira. That was interesting, wasn't it? Alright, for the 1 hour I plan on sketching, doing the liner, and coloring. Yeah, let's see how I do. I wanted to make him do this classic idle hand pose, but I thought showing only one hand is boring. I'm going to be adding two. But yeah, let's see how I do. Instead of the time watch, I had a timer, so I hope it's not too annoying. I thought it would be a lot more comfortable to see the whole screen instead of a fraction of it. But yeah, you can tell me how you feel about it. I was taking my time. As I said, I was a little too confident because I thought, yeah, I'm going to be drawing both hands. Everything is going to look good. But yeah, these hands look... I don't know what happened to me today. I usually love drawing hands, but this time was a little too... Yeah, these hands are rough. I think I'm going to have to do some studies soon. I am so annoyed at myself because I'm like, why can't I draw hands today? These look awful. These are probably the worst hands I've drawn since I started drawing hands. Yeah, please don't look too closely at them. Around this point in the sketching phase, I would normally take a break. But since I was doing this straight, I couldn't, so I had to go with it. If I had had a break, I probably would have been able to fix those hands. Well, I wanna think. I wanna believe in myself, but I don't know. But yeah, it was an interesting experience because even though I felt like giving up in a way, I kept going. And I can't say this is my best work ever, but I can say I tried. And that's what matters, no? I was taking my time and kind of forgot about the timer, so I had to start rushing a bit. I left certain things really rough, and after a lot of struggle with his left hand right for us, I decided to erase it because I didn't have that much time left. I think I had a little over 30 minutes. So, yeah, I didn't have that much time to waste on this hand. So, yeah, bye. After that, I started refining his clothes a little bit, but I realized that I either had time to refine the sketch even more or start doing line art, and I chose the latter. This time, I tried my best to make sure every single line was connected to make things a lot faster and easier to build up base colors. This is something I do anyway, but I usually do the line art as normal and then check if I left any gap. But I didn't have enough time to do this time around. I wanted to draw Aira with his unlucky bunny outfit, but I thought there would be way too many details, so I thought it would be a lot better to draw him with his winter outfit and with the bunny ears. Well, if you played the story, you know, but yeah, basically the both of these looks appear on the Unlucky Bunny Rain Fumble, I think it's called, Scout story. His clothing, especially his hood, looks very bad. And this hand, yeah, as I said, please don't look at it. I am extremely embarrassed by it. At this point, I had a little less than 30 minutes, so I had to start rushing a little bit more. This I'm going to say it right now, I don't like how it turned out. As you can see, I tried to correct it a lot of times, but even though I tried to fix it, I didn't end up liking it. I'll speed through the base coloring because that's pretty boring. I had to fix certain things, and yeah, it was a disaster. I'm shading with the lasso fill tool. I mostly used a multiply layer to shade everything. I shaded the hand and then I tried to fix it and ruined it even more. And yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. It looks a little better at the end, but still looks awful. Since this is a very simple drawing and I didn't have that much time, the lighting scenario is not very dramatic, clearly, so there's not much going on. It's pretty simple. Even though I did really fast the shading in his jacket, I think it looks good. I don't know. It's simple, but surprisingly good. Even though I definitely struggled with this, I think I did a good job. if I do say so myself. I mean, compared to other drawings I've made in a similar amount of time, this looks pretty good. I mean, the liner doesn't look that bad. The coloring looks okay, especially the sleeves. And even though I'm not very fond of his right eye and hand, it still looks okay. So this was good. I added some details here and there, like a white border on the background to make it look a little bit more interesting. I added certain details here and there just to make sure I used most of the time. And here you can see the timer ran off. On the canvas information you can see I spent a little less than an hour, so yeah, challenge completed, I guess. Now let's see how I did on the 10 hours. Okay, finally the 10 hours drawing. I didn't really know what to do, so since all I knew was that I wanted a full body because of the outfit I plan on drawing him in, I want to make his legs somewhat visible, so I thought of this pose like him like touching his ears with one leg bent and the other one straight. While doing this, I thought it would be a lot cooler if we're looking down at him. So a little bit foreshortening would make it look a lot cooler. Since I started very loose, I didn't think much of the anatomy, but please bear with me, it's going to look a lot better in the end. Whenever I draw bodies, I tend to add clavicles, pecs, and deltoids as a way to see if the anatomy looks okay. And in this case, they're also pretty useful because they're guidelines to help me see how his body looks. Like, since we're looking down at him, his torso is going to look very different as if we were looking at it from straight on, right? So this helps me visualize how I should draw in his clothes. I struggled a lot with his foot. It looks really broken right now, so please don't focus too much on it. I'll fix it eventually. Speaking of struggles, I struggled a bit with his sleeves. I didn't know how to make him look okay because somehow, I don't know what happened to me, but I drew them on different perspectives, so yeah, they look really weird, especially the sleeve on his right arm left for us. So yeah, it looks weird. I wanted to make this drawing dynamic, so I added movement to his hair and ribbons, and later on to the veil or whatever he has on his back. I didn't include most of my struggles fixing his leg, and I got a little bit of help. My assistant helped me. By assistant, I mean my mom. She gave me some tips and helped me realize that his leg looked really weird. So yeah, that's thanks to her. Well, now I'm working on the line art. I skipped a lot from the sketching phase because it was pretty much just refining the lines I had already to make them a little bit cleaner to add the liner on top and trying to make sure everything looked okay. I really like this outfit. I had a lot of fun drawing it. There are so many details and it looks really cool, and Aira's design is one of my favorites in ES, so this was a lot of fun. The only thing I don't like, it's not related to the drawing but related to the outfit, is that when the card and outfit came out, I thought they were going to be a continuation to Himeru's Lucky Bunny outfit in card, but it wasn't. I think that was such a missed opportunity because, I mean, Lucky Bunny, Unlucky Bunny, and Himeru's luck streak started after going to a variety show, which next contestant was left as a mystery in the story. So I thought it would be really cool if after Himeru, Aira was the contestant, but yeah, that didn't happen. I still really like the story. It was cute and fun, especially when Kagu appeared, but I think the other way around would have been cool too. These hands turned out okay. I mean, they're way better than the last ones, but I think I'm gonna have to do some hand studies or something because I'm not particularly happy with the way I'm drawing hands recently. Well, I took a lot of time with the liner, but it was worth it. I think it looks really good. And now that it's done, means we're almost done with the drawing. I always start coloring my drawings, adding blush and then shading the skin. I really like this step because it makes the character look more alive. When it comes to coloring, I always have a little dilemma because I love cel shading, but I also love more painterly ways to color. So I was experimenting a little bit with both in this drawing. For the coloring on his tights, I added some indications of his skin tone and a little bit of shading to make them look more like actual tights. I don't know if it worked out, but at least I tried. I forgot to add some of the patterns, so I'm doing that real quick. I shaded his outfit with either a light pink or a light indigo set on multiply. Shading his outfit didn't take me too long. There was a little bit of back and forth on his sleeves, but other than that, everything went somewhat smoothly. Other than the ribbons, I wanted them to look like satin and shiny and pretty like they look on his model, but they looked really muddy at first, and I wanted to make them look a little less muddy and a little bit more shiny, then a little bit less shiny, and yeah, most of the time I spent coloring it went onto the ribbons. And since I spent so much time on them, I decided to cut most of that so we can focus on different things. For the white parts on his outfit, I added the shading first and then erased it where I didn't want it. This was pretty interesting because it's pretty interesting to see what I am capable of drawing on 10 hours versus what I was capable of 2 years ago. Because there's some drawings that I spent 10 hours or more that are like pretty much just line art, and it's surprising to me because it means I was a lot more perfectionist back then because I spent so much time on them because I wanted to make every single line perfect, and I don't have that much patience anymore. So it's pretty interesting to see how much I've grown as an artist. Yeah, spending 10 hours in a pretty simple drawing only with line art is insane. I don't know why I did that. I don't think I would have that much patience anymore. I think the 15-hour mark is the point I am like, I don't want to work in this drawing anymore, so I was a lot more patient back then. I added a layer set to either color burn or linear burn to make the colors look a little bit more interesting, and erased it where I didn't want it. Apparently I forgot to record that, but I also duplicated the tool veil, whatever the thing is, behind him, because I forgot that there were two instead of one. But other than that, the drawing is done, so let's see all of them together. What do you think? Quite a difference. I really enjoyed this challenge and I hope you enjoyed watching it too. A couple of days ago I drew ensemble store scenes in my style. In case you wanna know how that turned out, I'll link that video right here. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye!